Welcome to the Cruz Control Podcast, episode 1, with our very special guest, Colt Cabana.
Hello.
Nice to have you on the show.
Pleasure. Episode 1. This is huge.
Yeah, it's
groundbreaking.
Tell the camera a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Colt Cabana. I've been wrestling for 26 years. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I've been in the WWE. I've been in AEW. I've been in New Japan. I've done over 100 international wrestling tours, and I have thousands and thousands of wrestling matches, and I've wrestled thousands and thousands of probably your favorite wrestlers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Question 1, what is your pre-match routine?
Ooh, that's a great question. A lot of people have different routines. I think it was different when I was younger because maybe I was a little nervous but now that I've been doing it for so long, not as nervous. So I like to do a little stretching. I like to kind of shine up a little bit, get some shine on me so I look muscular. And then I also like to think about what I'm gonna do. I like a lot of mental preparation or mentally visualizing what I'm gonna do when I get in the ring.
Yeah. Second, how did you get started in wrestling?
Well, I was telling some people before, all I ever wanted to do was be a professional wrestler, and so my mom said I had to go to college before I became a wrestler. And so I went and played college football, but I didn't really like it. I was like, Mom, I want to be a wrestler. And she's like, okay, you can go be a wrestler as long as you finish college.
I feel like a lot of wrestlers come up through football.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't really want to do football, but I thought, well, Jim Ross always talks about football players on TV, so I should probably do that, so they could talk about my football career. But I really wanted to be a wrestler. But the most important thing was, she said, as long as you get your education, you could be a professional wrestler. And so while I was learning to be a pro wrestler, I finished my education and I became a college graduate and also a professional wrestler.
Third, what's your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers?
Ooh, I was always a big Vader fan.
Vader.
I love Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect.
I used to like Hulk Hogan.
I
took him off. I took him off my Mount Rushmore.
Last night in SmackDown, Hulk Hogan came out in a commercial.
Yeah.
The whole arena just went.
Yeah.
Boom.
Deservedly so. And then there's two British wrestlers, so I'll get you a little educated here. A wrestler named Cat Weasel and a wrestler named Les Kellett. So after this is done, I want you to go YouTube and watch those two wrestlers. Will you do that for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. What's your favorite match you've had?
I've had so many matches. But another one of my British wrestling heroes was a guy named Johnny Saint. And when I was done with WWE, I said one of my goals is to wrestle Johnny Saint, and he was still wrestling, and he was 70 years old at the time. And so I got to wrestle in Sheffield, England against Johnny Saint. And it was really one of my favorite times ever in the ring.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where do you get your inspiration?
I don't know. Well, a lot of people know me as a comedy wrestler. I like to have fun in the ring, so I would say the comedic world. So comedies, stand-ups, sketch, those kind of things really inspire me while I'm in the ring.
I really like how MJF screams in the ring.
Yeah, he does a bit of comedy too. Yeah. Now MJF is my son. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, there's a video online where we did a paternity test at AIW in Cleveland, and the results came back that we had the same DNA, that he is my son.
Wow,
that's
awesome.
You could see it.
Oh, yeah, I can.
2 Jewish kids, yeah.
I just noticed that.
Yeah.
What's your dream match?
Well, have you ever seen Kenny Omega versus the 9-year-old girl?
No.
You never seen that? You ever seen that? You gotta watch that. You see that? Kenny Omega wrestled a 9-year-old girl. So, and it was one of the most fun matches ever. So
you lost.
He did. Well, I think it was a.
No, she got him. She got him. She got a pin on him.
So I thought Kenny Omega's had some of the greatest matches in the world, but I don't want to wrestle Kenny Omega with the great matches. I want to wrestle the Kenny who wrestled a 9-year-old girl.
What do you think her finisher was a shin kick.
Yeah, something like she did some pretty sweet moves. She did a plancha. It was great.
Impressive.
Very impressive.
Let's see here. What's your favorite finisher of all time?
Well, I have a couple finishers. I have the Billy Goat's Curse, which I think I saw L.A. Knight doing the other day, which I invented. I have the Chicago Skyline, which is when I drop somebody from the top rope on the top turnbuckle. But my favorite is the Superman pin, where if someone's on their back with their legs up and I jump through their legs and I fold them over and I pin them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gotten me a lot of good victories.
And let's see. What do you think of the new era of WWE?
Well, I wrestle and I work for All Elite Wrestling. So,
right.
For me, I love AEW, and I think any era of AEW is better than any era of WWE.
It's just random. I didn't really think about the AEW shirt.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
When did you first fall in love with wrestling?
When I was 3.
When you were 3.
When I was 3, and I know that because my first memory is seeing Andre the Giant get his hair cut by 2 wrestlers. And I just remember that in my head. And then years later, because we have the internet now. When I was your age, we didn't have the internet. So I could go back and I kind of Googled and found out when that was. And I think it was January 1984, which would have made me 3 years old. Yeah.
Wow. Brutus Barber?
No. I think it was Ken Patera and Bobby Heenan did it. It was before Brutus the Barber Beefcake started cutting people's hair. Yeah. But he might have been inspired by that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who is the best wrestling commentator?
Cruz, I would say.
There we go.
I would say Cruz Control. Yeah. Other than that, I think Excalibur is a wonderful commentator. He's my favorite right now at the moment. Yeah.
And last one, not even on there. What's your best experience you've had in AEW?
Well, I got to wrestle Bryan Danielson, and he's a legend and a friend of mine. Bryan and I made a movie together, a documentary about 15 years ago, and since then, he's become such a huge star. So it's so cool to see that happen. And then be able to wrestle him in Chicago was really exciting for me in my hometown. Yeah.
Well, I'm out of questions.
Okay.
So
I got a question for you. Did you watch the Young Rock?
Young Rock, yes.
Yes. Do you remember when he wrestled the Brooklyn Brawler? There's an episode where
I think I'm like the episode after A Day with Andre. So
okay.
I haven't really gotten that far.
Well, I want you to get there, and then you're gonna look real closely. Do you know who played the Brooklyn Brawler?
You.
So you're going to see me wrestling Rocky Maivia in his first match ever as the Brooklyn Brawler.
That's awesome. I love that show.
Thank you.
Well, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Colt Cabana, everybody.
Hey.